A long time ago, at the edge of a quiet mountain village, where the road ended and the forest began, there stood a broken, lonely hut. In that hut lived a young man, all by himself. His name was Anug. He had no one, no mother, no father, no friends. From childhood, he had learned to survive on his own. His only role in life was simple: never be a burden to anyone. But slowly, that rule became a wall that separated him from the rest of the world. Every day, before sunrise, Anug would go into the forest, cut wood, and carry it to the town to sell. With whatever money he earned, he bought one meal, returned to his hut, and lay down in silence. From the outside, his life looked simple, quiet, even hardworking. But inside, something was wearing him down. This tiredness wasn't of the body, it was of the soul. He never spoke of it to anyone. But every night, as he stared at the ceiling, one question echoed inside him. Why am I here? What is the point of this life? Does any of this really mean anything? Still, he lived on quietly because he believed speaking wouldn't change anything. But one day, in the city, while selling wood, someone shoved him. He fell to the ground, bundles scattered across the street. People passed by, laughing. No one helped. No one even looked back. He just sat there, as if life itself had knocked him down, not a person. That evening, as he walked back through the forest, something inside him had broken. Every tree, every stone, felt like they silently understood his decision. He knew he couldn't go on like this. That night, while the whole village slept, Anug sat alone in his dimly lit hut. A worn-out rope lay beside him. He measured the wooden beam above, pulled a stool, and stood still. Not ready yet, not moving. Just sitting like a tired traveler who had reached the last station of a long journey. He didn't even know who to call. But he needed someone, anyone. And just then, a soft knock at the door. He froze. Who could it be at this hour, in this silence? After a pause, he opened the door. Outside stood a simple man, plain clothes, a calm face, and steady, quiet eyes. Eyes that said more than any voice could. He looked like a monk, but there was something deeper in his presence. It was the Buddha. Buddha looked at him and gently asked, "I am tired. May I sit here for a while?" Anug nodded quietly. Buddha stepped inside and sat on the floor. The soft light of the oil lamp flickered across the room. There was a stillness between them, but it wasn't empty. It was full of meaning. After a while, Buddha spoke. Have you ever felt that even when you have everything, something is still missing? Anug looked at him, stunned. That was the very question he had asked himself every single night. But hearing it from someone else felt like someone had touched his soul. Buddha continued, "When a lamp is about to go out, its flame glows brightest for a moment. But is the end really darkness? Or is it just the mind's illusion?" Anug whispered, "If everything is already lost, then what is the point of staying?" Buddha asked, "Is everything truly lost? Or have you only searched outside and never looked within?" Anug didn't reply, but something within him stirred, as if dust that had settled for years was finally being swept away. Buddha said, "If you want to leave this life, that is your choice. But before you do, meet yourself once. Maybe the one you're trying to run from isn't even you." Then Buddha stood up. As he walked out, he turned and said, "The path that looks darkest often hides the deepest light." Buddha left, but his words, his silence, and his presence stayed in the hut. Anug sat for a long time, staring at that rope. Then slowly, he untied it, folded it, and kept it in a corner, as if setting down a burden too heavy to carry. The next morning, for the first time in years, he felt the sunlight on his skin. He got up, took a piece of old paper, wrote something on it, and stepped outside. He was still alone, but this time he was with himself. On the paper, he had written, "I wanted to give up everything, But before I did, someone helped me meet myself. Until I truly understand that me, I cannot stop. In our own lives, we often reach places where everything feels like it's come to a stop. We think this is the end, but maybe that's exactly the moment we're meant to pause and look within, when the noise of the world fades and we finally meet ourselves. We find the me that was always there, just hidden, because leaving life is easy, but truly understanding and living it, that's the real courage.